What up, y'all? Let's talk about it. See who up with me. It's 2:36 in the morning, 2:38 rather. Let's see what we're gonna talk about. King, King, fed up, man. What up? Triple play, Dave. What up? What up, y'all? Yeah, my man King, he a little fed up. He always get humbled by an unlikely opponent. That's true too. We're gonna talk about it. Did you see the fight tonight? Nah, I ain't watched it. I'll watch it later on. Nah, we gonna talk about it. Well, well, 50 posted a picture of Tiny, right? Hold on. I know it's probably static. We gonna fix that right now. Well, be any of that. I ain't pay that money. Not that. I had an audio right. He deserved that response. So 50 definitely going overkill it now, guaranteed. Did you see the? Yo, right? In the true street ethics of things, there's always been no women, no kids, right? But we also know it's no rules to war. Not knowingly that King was gonna react like that because that's his mom. And he a young hothead. And the things he said about 50 moms was like the most disrespectful you can get when it comes to reacting to something about your moms. I'm just gonna call it a dangerous game of the dozens because it's just like, I don't know, like, we all know for a minute 50 ain't really have no traction to his name besides doing the movies and in the shows. We all know 50 always been a controversial person and he lives for controversy. And if you give him any little snippet attention, he's gonna go far with it. And depending on who you are is depending on how far he's gonna go. King is a young man, probably 20 years old, 21 years old, something like that. And he reacted and crashed out like that because it's his mom. I don't think 50 took, I don't think he took that into consideration. That's somebody's mother. You know what I'm saying? And T.I. gonna react on a different playing field with 50 with that. He already dropped a snippet of a song earlier today. But I just think like this is where stuff get out of hand and it gets past entertainment. It might be entertainment for the viewers, but things when things when a certain level of disrespect is displayed, all the gloves is off. That's all I'm gonna say. Gloves is off when it gets to that top notch level of disrespect, which I both, you know what I'm saying. You know, 50, he's trolling, he's having fun with it, and you know, little man crashed out. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he gonna defend it, the honor of his mother like anybody would. You know what I'm saying? I think anybody in that fashion, especially the hothead like King is, would have reacted in that same type of way. Not saying any parts on both sides is right for, you know, attacking women, but all gloves is off when somebody feels like highly disrespected. Dude, this is a young thug. Have you looked into the Epstein files? Nah. But the thing with King is that he's still young and he still have a, a, a sense of immaturity by being young, not knowing how to play the game of chess. With 50, he's gonna react like a normal kid would react, and you gotta take it in that likeness, you know what I'm saying? And 50's not the type of person that apologizes to anything. I never seen 50 apologize for anything in his life. And, you know, and I guess that's why King felt like he had to disrespect 50 to the most highest disrespect you can possibly disrespect a person, insulting somebody's dead mother. I want to ask y'all something, audience. When did it been, and this is what I never understood about the drill music. When did it ever been cool to talk about the dead or talk about the females or talk about the kids? That type of stuff, like I remember I was talking to my uncle one time and he said, I asked him something and he said, man, because we was asking him, me and my cousin was asking his pops old stories about the streets and stuff. And he was like, yo, a lot of the stuff I don't even like to talk about or say because that died with that person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna talk bad or ill on nobody's name. If I had a beef with somebody and they passed away, that beef died with them. And for a long time, that always played back in my mind what he said. And he might have told me this when I was like 14 and 15 years old. You know, he was telling us stories and stuff, but he was just like, when we was asking him certain things, you can just see the reaction to on his face. He was just like, yo, a lot of things I don't even be liking to talk about, or you know, even with my guys, like with his guy, he'd be like, I wouldn't even want to talk about it with my guys because I feel like a lot of stuff died with the people that passed away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna dwell on something. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell y'all what was going on back then. You know what I'm saying? For y'all, you know, for y'all, you know, just for inform. You know, when you got family members that was in the streets and you be hearing all these stories, you just be, you know, so indoctrinated and wanting to hear the story. So he was just telling us a story, but a lot of stuff what he was basically telling us, like he don't be wanting to get into a lot of things like that because he just felt like that died with the person. Like, I'm not gonna talk about a beef I had with a person if that person, like if they was still alive, I would say something, even though if I wasn't around them. But if a person's dead, I don't even like to put people name in vain that's not here no more to even be able to defend themselves. And I understood it, you know what I'm saying? Point blank period. From that day on, I started to always carry myself like that. Like if I would ever get into a disagreement with a person that passed away, I would not want to carry that beef on forever or even carry resentment towards that person if they can't even hear to have resentment against me. It's like having resentment against nobody, just having extra weight on your back for nothing. So, you know, right now I want to see 50 come out with some music. That's what I want to see. I want to see if 50's still able to spar. Because you know, people sometimes people get so removed from this rap shit that when they get into other things, they can't come back. And people don't even look at 50 as the same as they did when he first came in the game. You know what I'm saying? I think people stop investing in 50 like after it's like maybe fourth or fifth project. I know I stopped listening or indulging in 50 music around before, like probably after the Before I Self-Destruct album or something like that. Cause I'm a fan of 50. I love his music. He's a great songwriter, but it just is like some music you grow out of, and that was some music that I grew out of. You know what I'm saying? But I always go back to the Get Rich or Die Trying album, just to hear, 50 had a lot of dope flows on that joint. You know what I'm saying? How he wrote the beat. You know what I'm saying? I study, hip hop, so I always revisit old albums and stuff like that when I be vibing by myself. You know what I'm saying? Because you get, nowadays it's such of a short attention span that the songs be only a minute and 45 seconds. You gotta to really get a groove off the song, you might have to play that same song 3 or 4 times. So, you know, sometimes I go back and zone off those 3 verse songs, 3 choruses, 3 verses. J, yeah, he went where the money is at. 50 Cent is like a what we all know about 50 is very petty. And if you're not playing on the same playing field as 50, he gonna get under your skin. It's inevitable. He's gonna get under your skin. You know what I'm saying? He's going to hit your buttons, and he know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? He know how to get a reaction. Once you get his attention, and he know how to get a reaction from you. Like 50 is so diabolical that I don't think he really give a fuck. For real, I don't really think 50 gives a fuck. I think he's amused and entertained by getting a reaction, seeing people crash out and get bent out of shape. Cause he always played, you never see 50 sweat. You never see him you've never seen him upset. Like, get outraged. You never seen 50 like if you think back, you never seen no footage of 50 ranting on nobody, beefing with nobody. Even if he talking about beef, he's sitting there having a intellectual conversation. You never see him bent out of shape for some reason. That's ill about him. That's one thing I've peeped about and studied about 50 for years. You never see him rant. You never see him get bent out of shape. You never see somebody get him uncomfortable. You've never seen nobody get him in an uncomfortable situation. He's always been the sole controller of any situation he's been in. You never see 50 bent out of shape. Word. You never see him out of shape. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's how he reacts and how he gets amused by the seeing your reaction because it don't matter. It seems like don't matter whatever you say or whatever you try to pull on 50, it doesn't affect him emotionally. I think 50 is one of them people that's detached from emotions. And but if you think about the circumstances he came up in, that's not hard to do once you've been going through so much. Like 50 then got shot. He lost his mother when he was like 5. You know what I'm saying? He had some of the biggest gangsters in Queens put a hit out on him. You know what I'm saying? He got blackballed like right after that before Dr. Dre and Eminem picked him up. So 50 had has been going through what most hasn't. So all those is connected to emotions. And I guess he figured out how to detach the emotion away from even blowing his cool. Like you never see 50 blow his cool. It's always amusing to him. Don't matter what it is. It can be a highly broadcast beef. He's always calm, cool, and collected. That's hard to do when somebody's jabbing at you, when somebody's insulting you back. It's like he's a master chess player. He's a master war strategist because if you don't see a reaction, you don't know how he's going to attack. He'll throw things out you like, oh, that caught him? Oh, damn, that wasn't nothing. Oh, and he's reacting off of that. Oh, I got him bent over shape. So his formal attack, you're not going to know until it hits you. Like, and it's going to be too late. He's a strategist. You got to strategize. You cannot play the emotion game. You can't get bent out of shape with 50 because once he see that you're uncomfortable and he got you. Once he see that you're going to react in a certain way, he got you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think T.I. approved of that video because, you know what I'm saying? He might not disapprove, but I don't think he approved it. Because you got to understand that's somebody's mama. You know what I'm saying? He only reacted in a way that anybody would react when somebody disrespects somebody's mom or trying to, you know, make a joke or a meme or something like that. You know, he only reacted like anybody would react about their moms. Nobody ain't going for their moms. I know I'm not. I know most of the audience and the viewers not playing about their moms. Your mother is one person, and everybody don't have a great relationship with their mom. We're gonna say that. What I know for the people that do have a great relationship with their moms and worship the ground their moms walk on, is will give up their life for their mother. You know what I'm saying? Nobody not playing about their moms, and he's displaying that he's willing to go through anything by any means necessary on the honor of his mom's name. You know what I'm saying? And you can't blame a person for that. But it's a certain, like I said, it's certain, you can't fight every war the same. Every war is meant to be fought and different. That's why strategies with an S at the end. Not a strategy, a strategies. You got to fight every other war and every other fight differently. Some people, some wars is fought on foreign ground, some fought on the air, it's all type of different tactics and strategies to war. And 50, he's built his career off of controversial and warring against people. He hasn't been successful with a war since Ja Rule in that type of way because he went with Jada, he went with Fat Joe. Like, I don't, the reason why Ja didn't take it as further that he could have against 50 is because the street presence within himself, I don't think was there. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that the activity before rap, Ja Rule and 50 was from two different places. And you can tell the gangster in the street ethics came from who Ja was affiliated with. It's a whole different ball game when you just affiliated with some gangsters, you know what I'm saying? But when you partaking in gangster shit, that's when it's a whole different ball game. 50 protecting gangster. He was outside, you know what I'm saying? He was getting into gangster activity, you know what I'm saying? Getting shot, retaliating, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? From the emotion in front of the media, like, you know, 50, I think 50 study everybody just in case if he gonna beef with them. I think he sits back like he get beef with just let me gear up. Let me on hold just for him, just in case. Cause you never know if I gotta spank him. I think that's how 50 think. I think 50 got a war strategy somewhere for every rapper or every type of person that's in his field that he think that potentially that or try him. That's what I think. That's what I think. Does it work on everybody? No, because like I said, the Locks and Fat Joe, they had a different street essence that, you know what I'm saying? Even though it got physical with Murder Inc. and all that, but that that lineage of street and arrogance and homies and all that is a kind of a different lineage. You got to understand when Ja got around, like Preem and them was already like, you're not gonna like we're not gonna say like washed up or nothing, but they was already older. What the work that they put in was already put in from the 80s, early 80s, 70s, 80s, and the 90s. So by the time they got with Ja, they was already trying to, you know, really don't try to, ain't trying to be like up front the Supreme team like they was before. So they was trying to play more executive and get into different ventures to, you know, shy away from that life. 50 still had guys straight off the porch, straight off the stoop, ready to vest up and go to war. And that's a different energy when you going against some guys that's older, maturer. They did their thing 30, 25 to 30 years prior to what your activity is. And it's a whole different energy. You got guys that ain't figured, they ain't got active, so to speak. So I think that's where the parallel of where 50 couldn't do to the Locks and to Fat Joe and others that he tried to do before because of the energy that's, you know, fight once the gloves off. Boo boo no more, or the do rag with the fitted 50. I don't think 50 can tap into that anymore. Not saying he can't. I just don't think that he he's able to tap into that because he's been so removed from it for so long. Like I said, you might have street guys around you, but the guys that you will have around you, and you might be so-called outside, it's not gonna be the guys that's gonna be around you on a day-to-day basis. So the energy, the activity, and the boost, the morale is different. Like 50 early, like say this get rich die trying era. You got a bunch of guys around you from the streets that want to prove themselves, from ranging from the ages 18 to 30, right? Let's just say that, right? Now you got a bunch of kids straight from South Jamaica, Queens. They vest up, they got ammo, they getting some money, they out in the streets, and they willing to ride for 50. 50 doesn't have that energy. Nobody from that era got that energy still around them like that. You can't find a rapper from that era that still has the entourage that they was in '05 and '06 and all that. You don't see Mano with the same entourage. You don't see Jim. You ain't gonna you don't see Fab. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is not rolling in packs no more because they know rolling in packs and entourages, it's not assets, they're liabilities. You liable to have to pay for funerals, you're liable to have to pay for uh, bail, lawyers. And when you done went through that for 20 years, and you done spent about $1 million or more, a couple of M's just on lawyer fees and bailing your mans out and getting and yo, you be like, yo, I gotta separate myself. You know what I'm saying? They get to a point where you can't walk around with 30 niggas no more. It's not even feasible because, like I said, you got to remember you're an asset and you can have a lot of liabilities around you. And the liabilities is the niggas that ain't got nothing to do but to be around you and to do some knucklehead shit if something go down. Now, when it comes to making money, you got to start thinking smarter. You got to, and that's what they say when you get money. Should it change you? Yeah, it should change the way you think. It should change the way you move. It should change the way you live. But it shouldn't change you as a person, the essence as the person, the integrity as the person. A lot of people get it mixed up. A lot of people get the money and just change, and they whole aura and their ego get out of hand and they start looking down on people. But you got to understand, when you're starting to get into a certain light and a certain success, you have to change, and you cannot walk around with the same outlook as you did when you was 25 or when you 45. You get what I'm saying? You gotta totally move different. You cannot be rolling with 45 people just cause. You know what I'm saying? Running around with 45 people and nobody rap. You don't need that many people to guard you. You know what I'm saying? And I tell all these guys, you making a substantial amount of money, get security to hold you and your entourage down. You get what I'm saying? Like, those days is over. But if you look at it, like I said, like some couple of names I named a few moments ago, they don't roll around with big entourages no more. It'd be like twos and fews with them, and they publicists and stuff like that, and assistants and stuff. People ain't got no time to be bailing out, going to no funerals or going to jail over some nonsense, over misunderstandings and niggas that's trying to create content off your demise. Yeah, 50, 50, 50 has a crazy sense of humor, man. And like I said, he's emotionless. You've never seen him upset. You never seen him rant. You never seen him reacting in a way to it. Even, even think about when him and Floyd was going through it, and 50 had the video when he said, yo, I just woke up, I'm just saying this about, and all he did was start snapping, right? You never see him like uneasy. Like, you never seen him uneasy. Why that, like, that's a deep, that's a cold-hearted, relentless person that never shows emotion, even in wartime. You don't know what he's thinking. You don't know what 50's thinking. You don't know how he's gonna move. He'll lay the groundwork. He'll lay a trap out there because he know how he's going to react. But other than that, if you don't know how to control your emotions, he's going to always laugh and get his rocks off and be entertained, because even if that's just his objective, just to see you bent out of shape, that might be his goal right there. It might not even be as big as people think. It might be like, look at him, he's emotional. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? 50 has way too much money and way too many resources to go back to Boo Boo from South Jamaica, Queens. He's evolved, but he's still with the shits. And a lot of guys that he might have quarrels with is not as equipped in resources or finances to even play with him on no type of level. It's not it's not a neck to neck type of situation. And not saying T.I. don't have money because he's very wealthy himself, but I'm just saying far as status and things that is projected. And T.I. like T.I. is probably one of the guys that can go with Fifth. You know what I'm saying? Lyrically, business ventures, not saying wealth, but T.I.'s been very successful for the last 20 years he's been in the game. You know what I'm saying? Even he hasn't put out music in 6 years and still able to live the way he lives because of his revenues of income. You know what I'm saying? And owning property and opening up the museum down there and stuff like that. So they are definitely in different spaces than they were when they first came out. 50 was definitely more in Queens on the block, indoctrinated still with the young niggas that's out there making a name for themselves. 50 don't got the same entourage around him he did 15 or even 10 years ago. Nobody does. It's very rare to see a person after 2 decades still have the same people they started with. So people don't think he went. Nah, he went too far. Like I'm on no women, no kids, man. But when the gloves is off, his gloves is off. That's the first thing. I think that's to get the emotional rage out of you. That's the first thing they people do now is attack the women and the kids. Say something about the women and the kids. They don't even have enough, I say, resentment for you. They go straight to your woman because they know that's gonna hurt your mother. That's the first thing Gully TV did. Goofy, girly, punk ass TV did. The first thing he did to try to insult me was to say something derogatory and disrespectful about my mother. And what comes with respect is you receive respect. You know what I'm saying? But I'm at a point where I don't gotta go. I don't gotta. I got enough on you to where I can talk about you. I don't have to insult you, but you insult mine, so I insult yours. Is it goofy? Yeah, it's goofy. Is it immature? Very immature. Is it disrespectful? Very disrespectful. But sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. But in different instances, you don't always have to react like the next man do neither. So that's why I apologize to my audience a few weeks back because I just be goofy activity, man. Sometimes you get bent out of shape. Sometimes you get emotional. Sometimes you just gotta react the way the the disrespect was, given. What's given is what's received. So sometimes, we all lose our cool. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be mindful of the reaction or the consequences from your action when it comes to certain things. I just hope this just stay music or just stay memes and stuff like that. But when you start, man, it gets tricky, man. It gets tricky. It seems like the music industry is not even known for music no more. It's more about content and disrespect and drama. It's dying out. It's dying. And I think I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes I feel like things was created to 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 manipulate the music business, to kill off the business because black folks got so successful from it. It's the first thing that we actually created ourselves and was able to take something from the street element and have so many different elements involved in it and create a livelihood from it. And they say they seen that we was obtaining millions from it and being successful and living like they living. And I think they got fed up like, yo, you know what, we're going to implement these things that we know they going to use, these tools they know they going to use to self-destruct, just like they did the Black Panthers. You know what I'm saying? They implemented drugs. They implemented things that they know they would take vices to And it's the same thing with the music business, and it's this thing called social media. Attention is the new currency. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have people that create content every day, dropping 2, 3 times a day because it generates money. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing personal. Once you understand that a lot of stuff is just about a dollar. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about no disrespect. It ain't about people care. People know that it's people that has absolutely nothing to do all day but to sit on their asses and watch your content. It's some people that has nothing else to do but to sit and watch your content. Some people don't have 9 to 5. Some people don't have hustles. Some people or some people just need to be entertained. But it's people that sit around all day and wait for your notification just to drop something to keep them entertained because, you know what I'm saying? The world is just built off of motion and controversy. You know what I'm saying? If it's not the hottest topic, nobody don't want to hear about it. If it's not nothing negative, nobody want to hear nothing about it. We can sit up here and have conversations about cures for AIDS and cures for cancer and talk about stuff like that. It'll never get on the algorithm because that's not what the algorithm is built off. The algorithm is built off of negativity and drama. That's why I try to, I try to keep the controversy down. That's why I love my audience, building it organically. Thank you. We at 19,000. We almost at 19,100 subscribers. I need 20,000 subscribers. Hit the like button, hit the subscription. We got to take this up before. I'm trying to hit 20,000 subscribers before this month is out. It's only a few more days of this month. So to try to get as close to 20,000 as possible. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for tuning in, just to, coming to get this positive internet energy. You're not going to come over here and get the gossip. You're not going to come over here and get the drama. You're going to come over here and get an intelligent, positive assessment on current events. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I do the same thing everybody else do, but I just bring it to y'all in a different way. Some people bring it into a messy, gossipy, controversial type of way. I'm gonna bring it to an intelligent conversation to where you give you a perspective of both sides, the ignorant side and the positive side. You know what I'm saying? So, because there's some people that's ignorant and there's some people that's intelligent. And not saying that ignorant people can't be intelligent, but it's just some people that just live in a whole different creed of the way of life. You know what I'm saying? Some people thrive off of negativity, thrive off of hardship, thrive off that. It's some people that can't. It's some people that loves to argue. It's some people that loves to, like, they don't go good unless they go on in a back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to stay away from those type of miserable people. It's people that they not good unless something bad goes on. That's the illest thing you can say. It's some people out there, they don't go good unless something bad happens. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody from tonight, where y'all tapped in? Let me see where y'all tapped in at. Yeah, man. Let me know where y'all at. Let me know where y'all tapped in from. What cities y'all from? Who in here? What? Nobody ain't in the chat? Everybody dead in the chat? We up late night, about 3:19 in the morning. We just vibing. Everybody snowed in New York. Word, we up. Yeah, man. Your man King not having it. He wasn't feeling that. He was not feeling that. Word, man. Any questions tonight? No questions. Nobody not saying nothing. Everybody just watching. It's cool. We tapped in. Everybody snowed in. I hope y'all got y'all backwards. I hope y'all got whatever y'all need to get through this snowy weather. Word. Cool, calm, cold night. Come on, man. Y'all can hit them lights, man. Y'all acting up. Nobody not even talking in the chat. I know the chat is on. Like, nobody not gonna say nothing. I've been reading the chats all that. You cool, though. Guess everybody too cool to talk tonight. That's cool. Word. Just came to chop it up with y'all, man. Man, King went crazy. Been here 44 minutes. But well, we're gonna close out this live. Hit y'all a little bit later on. Nobody ain't talking or nothing. But that's my little assessment on my man King, man. He went crazy on Fifth. Yo, Fifth, man, leave these guys alone, man. You too devious, man. You too devious. Way too devious. But peace. Till next time, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, send that them likes up, send that hype up. Peace.